Alright, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network. Alright, y'all see what we got going on here. As y'all see the thumbnail, y'all read the title under the thumbnail. Yeah, man, today's video is dealing with, I know y'all heard it all, man. Feds round up 14 of Walka TSF members. Rico tied to Chicago's own Duke the Jeweler setup. Yeah, man, y'all heard me right. I'ma break that down to y'all just in 1 minute. So yeah, man, I know y'all heard the story of 14 of Walka TSF affiliates have been arrested and charged under the Rico Act. Now, for those who don't know what that means, that's racketeering, influence, and corrupt organizations, or racketeering and criminal operations. Now, as reported, some TSF guys was documented for moving weight, holding heaters with the switches, and 2 of them may be in direct contact with the guys who allegedly set up Chicago's own Duke the Jeweler. I informed you guys Duke's family is looking for justice, similar to TakeOff family. So with that, they hoping this big arrest could lead to some actual information or evidence pertaining to Duke's untimely demise and what happened to the $1 million in missing jewelry. Now, some folks still feel it's someone tied to J.Prince Jr. mob ties that set up Duke the Jeweler, because J.Prince Jr., he was the one who invited Duke out to H-Town for the whole dice game function, the after parties, and a concert. So with that, the mob ties mostly knew of the jewelry that Duke brought with him from Chicago. And the dice game is where Duke showed them the jewelry. So even though Duke was followed and shot leaving the concert, the Alphabet Boys believe these arrests could potentially lead them in the right direction, where Duke's family can finally get justice. Now, before we get into it, let's pay our respects and say rest in peace to Chicago's own Duke the Jeweler. Condolences to his family, and much love to all my folks in Chicago. Same thing goes for TakeOff. Rest in peace to TakeOff. Condolences to his family, and much love to all my folks in the ATL. So yeah, man, they saying with these arrests, somebody gonna give up the guys who set up Duke, whether it's someone affiliated to Sauce Walka or J.Prince Jr. Now, y'all gotta understand, I never said that Sauce Walka will attempt anything of this magnitude, and I'm talking about setting up Duke or getting into any type of criminal activity. Because we know folks, he get into the bag, but you never know what his associates may be getting into, because everybody not eating the same, so people have their own intentions. So with that, now you have TSF members hit with a Rico. Basically 14 guys get into separate criminal activity at different times under the TSF umbrella, allegedly. Now, even based on that, some believe this may be in direct correlation with the whole YSL being recognized as a GANG. Now, even though Sauce Walka has nothing to do with the actions of the TSF members, I mean, out of 14 guys, somebody telling something. For them to even arrest 14 and attach their individual criminal activity to TSF, someone affiliated was a CI a long time ago. I mean, y'all gotta understand, because it seemed like the rappers and the guys they associate themselves with not comprehending that them people with the badges that have those 3 letters engraved in it, they ain't playing, especially when guys is putting themselves out there as being mafia-like members. Now, do they remember what happened to the mob of mafia? They move discreetly, or everybody going down. But hey, some see these movies and hear the stories, and they still think it's a joke until they standing in front of that judge, telling on everybody and their mama for playing tough, thinking it's a game they could take for a joke. There are so many examples out there that people should become familiar to how it ends, but at the same time, they want to ignore it. They want to ignore all those examples because they feel like they extra special with cheese. No, you not, and them people gonna show you not. I mean, you got folks already going in on Sauce Walka for his guys getting indicted 2 days after Gunna states YSL is in fact a GANG. But hey, that's what the younger generation want to be like. I tell y'all, man, whatever we put down, they gonna pick it up because they think it's cool. To me, it just seemed like a cycle of people not properly using their resources to help out themselves and assist others on this journey called life. Yeah, man, check this out. You even got some folks that feel, hey man, J.Prince Jr. mob ties, they're the reason why the Alphabet Boys is all over Houston, because J.Prince Jr. and the mob ties made it hot, dealing with the whole TakeOff situation and Chicago's own Duke the Jeweler. You got an A-list rapper, and you got a high-profile jeweler that's known in Chicago. Come on, man. I told you guys before, Duke business partners, they gonna get down to this, man, and it's real. Now we really seeing what's going on. Now we can see who got their hands tied up in Duke's untimely demise. Now I believe we have become more selfish and narrow-minded than ever before. Because for one, things are literally at our fingertips. When anything is too easy, you will become easily bored and start doing things out of the norm, seeking for attention in the most strangest ways. And that's what's happening, man. Now, I was always told it's easier getting into trouble, and the hard part is getting out of trouble. So, man, I say all that to say, hey, y'all gotta be aware of the people you hang around. You have to measure people judgment, people actions, the way they move around you. You understand? Because we seeing what's going on here. This could really had nothing to do with Sauce Walka, but more of the affiliates, more of the guys that know him. And the other part is, it could just be some people who know him, but not really affiliated to TSF. So what I'm saying is, I hope with all this going down, that a lot of people out there who want to become rappers, be aware of the people you hang around. Be aware of the people that you invite to be around you. You understand? Because I'm going to keep saying it, man. Everybody don't have your best interests at heart. There's only a small amount of people out there that do. But you have to be the judgment of that. No one else. Yeah, y'all heard, folks. It's real. You got some cats in Houston saying J.Prince Jr. mob ties got it hot out there, man. That the mob ties is part of the reason why them people is in Houston making a bunch of arrests. Because for one, like folks said, man, you got TakeOff, a A-list rapper. He got shot up hanging around the mob ties, being invited to a Dice Gang function. Same thing happened with Duke093 being invited out. So the people want to know what's really going down out there in H-Town, man. See, folks had told y'all before, them people, they've been looking into J.Prince Jr. pops a long time ago. So all this heat that the Sons is bringing back to the camp, come on, man, it's uncalled for. What happened with TakeOff was uncalled for, because if things got that heated, then they should have just left. Same thing happened with Duke. So now it's trickling down to Sauce Walka and his TSF members. Now they want to see if those guys got their hands tied up in any of this criminal activity. But going back to Sauce Walka, folks went on social media clowning Gunna for saying what he said. Then 2 days later, the guys that's affiliated with him, they go down on a whole big Rico bus. Come on, man. So you got some folks saying, hey, it could be somebody that's affiliated to Gunna that may have said some names, and those same names is associated to Sauce Walka TSF. Man, I'm just saying, that's pretty wild. I bet Sauce Walka, he about to go chill somewhere, cause he know he about to be paying for lawyer fees and bond money. Hey, but this what happened when you got guys who can't get out the streets, but still getting money. I mean, I ain't knock you. Get your bread, get your paper. All I'ma say is, just be prepared and stay ready for what's to come. Y'all gotta remember, if the Rico Act was solely based off bringing down mobs and mafia bosses, when a lot of these guys ain't even that, they just acting. And they gonna understand that they really small fish. And they gonna see that once they get in that courtroom with the real sharks. And that's real talk. I don't think a lot of dudes even really care. They still think this all a game, man. Like I said, until they stand in front of that judge. And everything is different from there. So yeah, they got some guys that's affiliated to Sauce Walka. We gonna see what they gonna say, man. Cause trust me, it's more information to come, as always. Cause y'all gotta understand, man, that courtroom bring a whole different vibe. Especially when they throwing those football numbers out there. Come on, man, a whole Rico indictment, that's football numbers off the top. But the thing is, they gonna try to pull the same thing like they did with YSL. That's why it's not cool to rap about everything you know. This right here, it should be an example. And even with that, G, the first thing guys want to say is, I'm rapping about my life. I'm rapping about everything I went through. Most of that is cap. Most of that is y'all rapping about what somebody else went through. And we got a bunch of examples out there based on that too. If you come in the rap game to change your life and to change your family life, you gotta act like it, man. You can't go backwards, running the streets, doing criminal activity. You know what I'm saying? Even having dudes that's affiliated with you get into criminal activity. You can't do none of that either, man. Especially when you know you got a family to support and people depend on you. When you know people depend on you, you can't be selfish. And a lot of these guys, they be selfish. Not just in their music, but in the streets as well. I mean, we can even see through the examples that we leaving for the youth. Come on, man. We are not leaving behind good examples. So with that, we have to be more mature based on our actions. If not, then you can't complain about what the youth doing. If you're not setting good examples for them to teach the youth on what not to do. Hey, y'all pay attention to what's going on. We got more in store. But as always, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network.